wasn't expecting to go live right away, but it is what it is. It is what it ain't. I have this selenite crystal. Hopefully it'll help because I'm feeling a bit under the weather. Um, yeah, feeling a bit under the weather. Yeah, a bit nauseous. But I did want to do an energy update because I promised that I would do them more often, and so much has happened that I haven't felt like it was the right time. But I feel like now is the right time because like I feel like there's a lot of like attacks. The way that I will describe it is it's as if, so I'm a basketball fan and I used to go to a lot of basketball games. And I remember one day we were at this game and the other team was like down by a bit, and it was like towards the end of the game, and one of the dads was like, the hands are the first to go. And what he was saying by, like, what he meant by this was that the opposing team who was losing was getting sloppy and started fouling a lot because they were tired and they were desperate, and so their fouls became more noticeable. That is what's happening now. So as I mentioned before, this year, even though we are outside of time, everything is always happening right now. This year, we are receiving everything that was meant to be received. Everything that was delayed and stalled and held back is received this year. And I'm sure that a lot of you have seen proof of this, whether or not it seems positive or negative or what. There have been rapid shifts that I have experienced and witnessed in other people's lives. We are no longer allowed to play out the same patterns. As I said, last year was the year of like the end of all cycles, and now we are into newness, forever and ever. But yeah, I feel like there has been a lot of fatigue, and I feel like, I feel like the fatigue obviously is to do with all the stuff that they say about, but I feel like the fatigue is so that we are in our feminine energy. I feel like it's very important to be in feminine energy right now because the message that I've been getting in regards to this filing, to this desperation that I've been feeling, or these attacks, whatever you want to call them, the message that I've been getting is to meditate more, is to go outside of the matrix, so to speak. Like, go outside of the laws and the rules that you've been playing by so far, because obviously we've been lied to about the game board, we've been lied to about the rules, we've been lied to about the money, if you want to view this like a Monopoly game board. Like, we've been lied to about all the things. So obviously it ain't gonna work. You cannot beat it by playing by those rules. The advice that I've been given is to go outside of these rules. So something that I want to say, I'm hearing to like say it as a tip. I don't know why I'm hearing to say it as a tip. When you receive some news, if it's bad news or whatever, if you receive, I don't know, some sort of negative experience or something heavy, or you have a fear about money or health, anything, whenever anything like this comes up, the tip has been to like treat it like it's like a joke, or as if it's like a child saying it. Like, don't take it seriously. 111 is the time now. For example, if a little kid comes up to you and they're like going on about how the sun went down and now it's going to be the end of the world because some kid at school told them that when the sun goes down on this day, it's never going to rise again and it's the end of the world. Like, how would you receive that message if it were coming from, like a 3-year-old? It would be a fun thing. Obviously, it could be true, could not be true, but you take it in a very light way. That is what I've been hearing. Like, because we dictate the universe, we dictate consciousness and not the other way around, we determine what things are, which is, I'm not saying anything new. Lots of people have said this. I'm not the first person to say this, but this is the tip that I'm getting for now. So let's give it another example. Like, let's say you really need like a medication or something, and it's super expensive and you don't know how you're gonna afford it. Like, oh, look, as I said this, a red cardinal bird. I wonder if it'll let me show it. Can you see it? Hey, boo. That's so crazy. It just popped up. Oh my God. Thank you, Eden. Thank you for subscribing. That's so sweet. Oh Lord. I'm like, I need to lay down. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm like, whoa. Give me a moment. I've been feeling like this, like, since I got up this morning, like a lot of like vertigo, like very tilty, like, ooh, ooh. So I feel like this is just another sign, or like another reason to take the advice that I've been given. Obviously, you never have to listen to anything I say. Always listen to yourself. But the advice that I've been given is like, if you are in a situation where your hands are tied, or you can't do anything about circumstances, you can't change anything, and in fact, doing things might make it worse, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. And in fact, it's for your highest good, most likely. But you can just check in with your soul and see what you think. And I feel like I'm supposed to be, like I said, like meditating more and defeating any issues that are arising in my life by going above their heads. This is something that I've talked about before. So like I said, I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying anything that anybody else hasn't said, but this is what I've got. Okay, so now we'll go into the section of like any insights that I've had, anything that I've noticed. I've noticed, like I said, a lot of shifts, like a lot of like quick changes in my life, like boof, 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 boof. You thought it was gonna be this, is this, is this, is this. Yeah, like rapid changes. I feel like pushing people out of their comfort zones. I'm trying to think if I've seen anything like, what I have noticed is as I've like pulled back and like decided to pull back from like social media and being invested in like celebrities, I've been like, I don't know, I feel like it's the algorithm that I have experienced here on YouTube has like tried to teeter me even more, like try to hook me in any way it can with distractions. So yeah, I guess that's also something I've been picking up on is like, excuse me, the need to spend more time in stillness. Like in the past, I've noticed I've spent a lot of time constantly consuming things because I like to learn. As a Scorpio rising, I'm very intrigued by a lot of things. I like to do a lot of research. And so I spend a lot of time watching shows or watching movies. And I have a different channel, Jabria Jabbers, where I talk about the different shows and the books that I've read and break those down. I'm constantly consuming something, constantly reading new books. And if I'm not doing that, I'm doing research online somehow, some way. Like I'm rarely just being like this. And like, And I feel like I said, it's the time to do that. It's the time to do that because you won't win, especially now, by playing along to the rules that they told you needed to play by in order to win the game. I'm going to put some links in the description from Solora Speaks, and also testimonials from people who have manifested their own miracles by means of their own personal empowerment. I will say that also something I've been like feeling a heavy push is like self-care and like really getting very good, I guess, at like making sure your brain and your thoughts are supporting you. Like making sure I'm telling my body, I love you. I'm so thankful for you. You're so strong. You're so powerful. Like that stuff, like play that up a lot. Like, do that a lot is the thing. Listen to a lot of affirmations, high frequency videos, things of that nature. And I would say another message that I've been getting is like, don't worry. Like I said before, like treat it, anything that comes up, treat it like it's like a casual thing. Like, oh, okay. Like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, there was that story that I mentioned before where there's like this farmer and I think he gets a new horse and everybody's like, oh, that's a good sign. He's like, oh, it's okay. And then the horse gets his leg broken and everybody's like, oh, that's a bad thing. And he's like, oh, it's okay. Like, just be like that. Like, be like, oh, it's okay. Because no matter what, like, you are already like, you're eternal. You're already a whole fulfilled soul. You don't die. You live forever. You live forever in abundance outside of this matrix and perhaps within it as well. Like you can't die. Your soul can't get sick. You know what I mean? Like no matter how anything plays out, you good. So like, you know, like think like that or be like that. I'm trying to make sure. I've been seeing a lot of like 11s and one number. I've been seeing the number 31. Have I seen anything online or anything significant with movies and shows? Yeah, like I said, just pulling back from a lot of stuff and like being in stillness more. I'm gonna get a few tarot cards from this deck, the Muse Tarot, just to see anything else. I'm so excited with this piece of selenite. Like, whenever I get new crystals and stuff, I'm always like over the moon because there was a time like when I had like no crystals, then I had one or two, and I used to always be so jealous of all the people who had crystals. And I'm like, every time I get one, even if it's a small one, I'm like, oh my God, this is the biggest piece of selenite I've ever had. And I always wanted a bigger piece. And I never got one because I always felt like, oh, it's too expensive. I was like, fuck it. Oh, Lord. I am woozy. I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know. I don't think I have like a fever. Oh, there's one. One card just came out. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. But there's definitely something going on with me. We'll do this one. Oh, that was two. Anything else that wants to come out? All right, thank you. That'll be all. So we have 9 of Wands as the bottom of the deck. Again, this is the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. So with the 9 of Wands, oh, and then the Devil in reverse. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like the Devil in reverse, like old habits, gotta go. Like old habits, old fears too. I'm hearing fears that like control you, like your own personal limits. I feel like especially about like safety and like where you're allowed to go. Like maybe like you never go to certain places, or when you meet someone new, like you don't hang out with them immediately. Like you don't trust your gut because you've been programmed to be so afraid, you know, that whole thing. And I wonder about that. Like, what was that really? That whole like worshiping the devil craze in like, what was it, 70s or something? The 70s or 60s where like they were like, oh, it's all these Satan worshipers. Like, why was that a thing? Like, really, what's a real reason? But like there started to be all these like movies and shows about serial killers. But before that, people used to just be like, so they used to live so freely. And I've always like prided myself on being a very like safe and cautious person. But I feel like the time, like don't live in fear anymore. Always live with discernment. Like always check with yourself. But I feel like I said before, like the more like empowered you are, the more you are in alignment with your soul and walking in love and truth, you will always have protection because you are protection. I feel like for some reason this 9 of Wands is saying like, wait, it's not time yet, but just like get everything ready. 122 on the time. Like, it's not time yet to like do the action, like the big action, but like do the little actions. Like, rest well if you can. Like, if you have time to rest, get it. If you have time to clean up your house, do that. Like, I don't know, I feel like very domestic. Clean out your car, clean out your phone, delete old pictures that you don't need, delete old contacts, like, little things like that. Lord. Okay. The first one that came out, excuse me, I like the picture on this. It's pretty. The Muse of Voices, which I believe is the Queen of Swords. It doesn't really matter if it's a king or queen, I don't think. What I'm feeling with this is like, your voice is powerful. Use it carefully. You know how like people like Floyd Mayweather, like their fists are like legally weapons. So they literally like can't just like use them because they're weapons, like as decreed by like law, whatever. That's how it is with your voice. And that's what I was saying earlier about the affirmations. Like, be very careful how you talk to yourself and even others. Because I've even noticed with myself, like, I've been irritable. And so I can tend to be a little bit mean when I'm irritable and like short with people. But like, pay attention to that because your words can be like bullets. That's what I'm feeling. The next two cards that came out. I need a moment. Why do I keep feeling like this? Why am I feeling like this? What is this? Okay. I heard I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I will finish this quickly. I won't read the last cards. I'll just read these and then I'll get in the bed. Yeah, there's a huge emphasis to focus on love. Like, if you like love something or someone, like, focus on that. Like I said, it's very like domestic and like going within. Don't focus on the outside. And I know like we've been like told like to get over love, especially when it's to do with other people. This could be anybody. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could literally be like your nieces, your grandpa. Like, focus on that, like just with that connection. Like I said, keep things very small. I've been seeing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, keep things small. No big actions at this time. We have the Priestess and 7 of Swords. Yeah, and by doing this, you'll just naturally protect yourself from what you don't need to be involved with. Finally, we have the Knight of Emotions, Knight of Cups. It was in reverse. So I feel like this is a good time to like confess emotions to perhaps someone. Like, if it's not another person, to yourself. Like, be honest with yourself about what you want and how you actually feel. Like, if you want to be a little lovesick puppy, like, do that. If you want to go out of your way to make a cheesecake for somebody, do that. But ultimately, like, this is about the self, like, giving the self the love and support that they need. I heard that she needs. Huge emphasis on the divine feminine. Okay, so because I'm so nauseous and I'm not supposed to be doing this, apparently, I'm gonna get off. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, share. Thank you for the likes. Thank you so much for your support. And let's shut this shit down. Like, let's get out of here and like rise to our full potentials and our true selves, so we can remember our memories and our family and our abundance. So it is, okay?